Whistleblowers have come forward describing years of deceptive practices that have been shrouded in secrecy, practices that have left many Southern Arizona veterans in pain, pleading for better care at the VA for years. Sounding the alarm since 2008, former VA Administrator Pat McCoy. She repeatedly complained to the former Tucson VA Director, Jonathan Gardner, about the unethical scheduling practices. But she says that he said the issue did not exist.
And was sort of summarily dismissed.
So she took her case to the Office of Inspector General, which launched a criminal investigation. That was back in 2014. She reported 600 requests for urology appointments stuffed into a drawer by a staff member, which stopped the appointment clock, meaning veterans with health issues would have to wait for appointments, some up to a year. The claim confirmed by the OIG in a report released last week, more than 2 years later. She reported the VA even went so far as to place phony consults into medical records to meet performance measures only. Those measures or goals are tracked by Central VA. That claim confirmed. The criminal investigators also confirmed that there were consults that employees discontinued because the requirement of waiting no more than 30 days for the next appointment could not be met.
The clerks were canceling the consults because someone above them told them they needed to meet a performance measure.
And the investigation confirmed 400 orthopedic appointment requests were on individual pieces of paper in an employee's desk instead of on the electronic wait list, and then were later destroyed. McCoy says former Director Gardner and now Acting Director Jennifer Gutowski ignored, downplayed, or dismissed many urgent wait time concerns to hide severe staffing shortages. The shortages confirmed by the OIG.
Multiple service chiefs acknowledged they were short-staffed in urology, they were short-staffed in other areas, they were short-staffed in cardiology and electrophysiology. They knew it. They were saying it back then. I heard from a nurse today who said that the bottom line in all of this is patient access to the facility, that this practice of chronic understaffing and holding off on posting positions contributes to the fact that patients can't be seen.
The report shows 2 scheduling supervisors made statements that suggested they trained schedulers to control the desired date in a way that was contrary to VA policy. The claim of managers instructing employees to manipulate patient schedules confirmed in the released OIG report last week that centered on one whistleblower's complaint, Diane Suter, in October 2014.
The manager is the one who came and told me I had to falsify the records in the computer. Told me to get out of my chair and took the computer that I was in and showed me how to do it, where you actually zero out the days. I told her, well, that's not the way I was taught. And I said, it seems unethical if not illegal. And she says, you do it my way or the highway.
Is that manager still there?
Yes.
What you see in those 2 reports is, to me, is pretty astounding, and that is not only were they manipulating access back when I reported them, back as far as 2008, it continues to this day.
Pat McCoy says while she applauds the criminal investigators for not only looking into the issue, but expanding the scope of the investigation, she criticizes the OIG finding that managers didn't know employees were gaming the system, and that Acting Director Jennifer Gutowski, who was hired in 2012 as second in command, then took over the top spot when Jonathan Gardner resigned in 2014.
She is the Associate Director. She is responsible, as he is. This whole pentad is responsible for what went on with this data. They're all responsible. They all knew about it. The chiefs of staff knew about it. I know they did. I told them.
I gave all the information to her.
She knows the root cause?
Yes.
Because you told her?
Yes.
And I sat down with the acting director, Jennifer Gutowski, who agreed to an interview for the first time since we launched our investigation into the Tucson VA.
Did you know that any of this stuff was going on? Because some of this fell under you being the associate director. Did you know any of this was going on?
We have definitely come a long way since 2014, and some of those processes that have been happening. And we have done a lot, and also just in general from the VA perspective, to improve how we're doing scheduling processes and practices.
Her response about managers improperly directing staff to manipulate schedules?
We own that in that report, and we are moving forward to convene a administrative review board to look at the allegation that's in there has been the recommendation from that report. So we own that, and we are apologizing for the inappropriate scheduling that happened as noted in that report. We own that, and we've been working since then to improve the processes and improve the scheduling of our veterans.
Is there any accountability for the people who are doing anything unethical?
As we stated earlier, we are convening an administrative investigation board, and that board will take a look into the allegations.
Could that mean that some of these people would be fired?
I think that's a little premature to say. I think the board will review the allegations and then go from there.
Although Gutowski says she's optimistic about staff's efforts to help wipe out unethical actions, McCoy isn't.
What do you want the VA to do right now?
Well, that's a huge question. I'd like the VA to hold people accountable, and they don't.